into this. Factors that affect reaction rates. And it's important that we talk about this because there are factors that we can look at that will probably change our reaction rates. And it's important for you to understand what those factors may be because you might get asked about it. So things that come up. Physical states to your reactants. So the more readily the reactions collide, the more rapidly they react. So gases, I mean, in theory, that they're more able to collide with each other, but they're not that close to each other. So that's an effect. Homogeneous reactions are often faster because they're in the same phase. Heterogeneous reactions that involve solids are faster if the surface area is increased. So if we make a fine powder rather than a pellet or a tablet, it's more area that's available for attack by another component. Our reactant concentrations are important. Increasing reactant concentration generally increases the reaction rate. Since there are more molecules, more collisions occur. Our reaction temperature is a factor. Again, temperature is a measure of how fast these things move. The reaction rate generally increases with increased temperature because there's more ability to collide. Kinetic energy of molecules is related to temperature, and at higher temperatures, molecules move more quickly and increases the number of collisions and the energy that they possess, so that when they collide, they're more likely to be able to make products. Now, there's another thing that we need to be able to talk about, and that's the presence of a catalyst. So a catalyst affects the rate of the reaction without affecting anything in the balanced equation. So it doesn't appear in the balanced equation. It's not going to be part of our equilibrium expressions for this. The catalysts often affect the kinds of collisions, changing the mechanism, so the way that it gets from point A to point B, individual reactions that are part of the pathway from reactants to products. Catalysts are critical in many biological reactions. Okay, so catalysts are important in affecting reaction rates as well. Okay, that's awesome. So some questions we might see with that. What are some factors that affect reaction rates? List 5. So I would want you to pick 5 out of this list. For me, I would be looking at phase is important, increasing reaction concentration, so higher concentration is faster. Temperature is important, generally higher temperature, higher ability to successfully react, and catalyst. So those are the things that I would choose. That's just my thoughts on it. Are all reactions faster at higher temperatures? We talked about this. Not all reactions are. There are some things that happen, especially when we talk about biological molecules, where at higher temperatures, they're not in the right position to be able to react. And so that's something that they can't do. Sorry. What does a catalyst do? Well, the catalyst affects the reaction rate. It does not affect the equilibrium position, but it affects the reaction rate, usually making it faster. That's usually why they're there. Does the catalyst affect the position of the chemical equilibrium, the KEQ? Actually, I just said that. That's no. And what are 2 things that are critical to a reaction taking place? The 2 things that absolutely have to happen. The molecules have to collide. That's one. They have to collide with sufficient energy and correct orientation. Now, as far as which is more critical, it's actually more important that they have sufficient energy because it only matters if they're in the right orientation, if they have enough energy. So as far as the flow chart of things goes, it's more important that they have sufficient energy to be able to get from point A to point B. Questions, comments, problems about that? I think, yep. All right, we're going to stop here. I'm going to get this posted and we'll come back in just a few minutes. Thanks, guys.